Hi, what up, YouTube? This is No Captain Filter. I'm your host, Marley G, back at y'all another episode of Running With You. And today we got to run about a topic I've been meaning to get around to, but better late than never. More people today are yearning for relationships where you live separate. Like all the cohabitate, like all like them days are being over for a lot of people. And a lot of people feel like relationships last longer when you don't live up under your significant other. We're gonna go ahead on and get into a video where Keke Palmer made a statement that really made me want to go ahead on and react to it and speak up on this topic because I wanted to talk about this even before I heard her speaking on this.
I could be open, but one thing I need you to know is that I never want to live together.
You're so quick. Should I take it personally?
I like my alone time.
But is that real?
That's real.
Oh, wait. Are you speaking as Kiki?
Yeah,
right
I'm
now?
speaking as the Kiki.
Not the
Okay, girl. I honestly, I just feel like, Whoopi Goldberg said it best once. She was like, I don't want nobody in my house.
Yeah. Wait,
And I just feel that.
Time out. You're for real right
I'm
now.
serious.
For real. So what about,
Marry even.
So
He's
he's going to live around the corner?
around the corner would be great.
What about a guest house? Would you let him live in the guest house?
We can be in a guest house. You know what I'm saying? We can be on the same, land, but I'm over there and he's over there.
Yeah.
At best, separate rooms.
Okay.
So what about, you go to the bathroom, you have the two toothbrushes.
No, so he can mess my bathroom.
Is that your hot take? So if that's your hot take.
That's one of them.
And that's a hot.
A lot of people are agreeing with this take. I think Whoopi Goldberg, like she mentioned, she said that she don't want to live with anyone. Like Whoopi Goldberg, she often dates and have one night stands, and she's happily fine with that. Like a lot of people aren't just being single for cope that they can't get anyone. A lot of people are just rather being single, and I think a lot of that got to do with they probably never met no one that was just the love of their life. They probably never met no one that was just really very good to them, and I think you just get overwhelmed with having the wrong people you've been dating, and it just warped your mind into believing that, man, there's no such thing as being able to live with someone, especially when you've been single for so long, you've been independent for so long. You don't have to answer to nobody. You don't have to deal with emotional extra burden of stress, extra financial responsibility. You just have all that just separate from your life. When you've been doing that for so long, it's hard to just have somebody move and get on your program and they just don't be a nuisance to you. Like I think that's very hard for people that's just never been in a happy relationship with someone, or people that has just been single for so long, when they've been independent so long. They like a hermit. They just enjoy their personal space, get up and do what they want when they want, ain't got to worry about nobody else that they have to either adhere to or be mindful of.
I can't close my mouth.
But think about how fun it would be to be like, I'm going over to my man's house.
Yeah.
Over there.
You know what? It keeps things
that's
right.
It's fun and
fun.
exciting. I want to go sit on his couch.
And he better clean when you're coming over.
That's what
too.
I'm saying.
You know what? I will say I'm laughing about it, but there are probably people watching right now who agree with you.
Come on.
Maybe.
Many
It just
people.
helps to keep. I feel like sometimes you can be just too up under.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's
Yes,
get some
I do.
space.
I
She
love
said,
it.
yes, I
do.
Oh, man, I said the two toothbrushes, and she's like, nope.
Yeah, that's like the grossest.
Yeah, man. I believe a lot of people are having this type of thought process when it comes to relationships, because think about it, when you're in a relationship, after like 3 months or so, you finally go ahead on and, well, this is how I think people should. After 3 months or so, that's when you go from just dating to getting serious and get into a full-fledged committed relationship. And then the next step after that is, you move in to see how you could cohabitate with that person and see if y'all could be able to, work through living together. Like that's a big step. That is a big step, living with someone, because it's one thing to see somebody on the weekends and they have a lot to tell you, they have a lot to confide in you, and you have time to actually miss them, versus okay, you with them every day now their bad habits that they might have. It might be certain traits that they might have that you were privy to, because it's going to come out sooner or later. You know, it's just like with the 3 months. A lot of people keep the representative in your face for the 3 months, and then after 3 months, they get to show you the real person. But they can only keep it up for so long. When you living with someone, they can only keep up their bad habits, wait for so long. And some of those habits might not be a bad habit to them, but they could be a bad habit or something triggering for you. And that comes to the point where you have to communicate and compromise and say, okay, I don't like when you do this. Can you cut back on doing that? And you got to have those conversations, and you have to be upfront and communicate with your partner very early, so it can be nipped in the bud early, because the longer you let it build up, you might just go ahead on and spaz out one day when y'all could have had a conversation. But yeah, man, now does that mean it's foolproof that you're going to automatically have longer lasting, better relationships with people? I just think that to each his own. I think that it's a individual thing. It's a case by case thing. Some people gonna be into it, some people not. It's just like the poly relationships. Some people can have multiple girls and y'all live together in one roof, and y'all could, make that work. But some people not gonna go for that. And some people, they want both of these things in one. They want multiple partners, and each partner have their own house. Now that's a more even extreme level right there. Especially if the man is paying the bills for all the houses of the women. Now that's one thing I would like to know. Is he's paying your bills? Or would you mind going 50-50 then when he doesn't live in a house with you? That's what I would like to know. But I want to know what y'all think down in the comment section below. Do you see yourself living this type of lifestyle? Can you date like this, or it's not for you? Have you dated like this? And let me know what your experiences were like. Let me know down in the comment section below. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, what you're waiting on. And until next time, I'm out.